Bokwari didn't have the capacity. It didn't have the audacity to unleash terror on the young Igbos in Igbo land, or Nnamdi Kanu as a person, without the consent of the Igbo governors, the Igbo political class, who saw Nnamdi Kanu as a threat. And I will remind you this. There were some of them who actually publicly said, or in fact, publicly thanked Bokwari, because they said Nnamdi Kanu has become so powerful that the only thing he hasn't done was to call for their assassination. They were so afraid of Nnamdi Kanu that they believed that maybe Nnamdi Kanu will one day call on the people to kill them, kind of get rid of them. They were so afraid of him that when they attacked his home, killed 28 young people and their family dog, these rogue politicians from Igbo land, they traveled down to Abuja to go and thank Bokwari. Guess who led them there? Devil Umayi. That was the time I gave him Devil Umayi. So now, a lot of them at the time, they said they met with Bokwari eye service. That Bokwari said he will release Nnamdi Kanu, but Nnamdi Kanu must stop talking about Biafra. And they have succeeded to some extent. When I say succeeded, they've succeeded in trying to get the ordinary people to believe, right, that Nnamdi Kanu is a dangerous person. I mean, it's Nigeria, remember, where people would rather buy lies than to think for themselves. And when it is convenient, by the way, they will agree with you that the way they have treated this man is so wrong. On the other hand, when it is not sounding like in their favor, for example, whenever they're having elections, I have seen some obedient. This is kind of like the irony of it all, right? We have some Nigerians, so to say, right, that believes that, the way he's been treated or the way they have silently organized the massacre of the young Igbos in Igbo land is so wrong. They agreed. And that it should be released. Whenever their election was coming, especially their last election, when they started hearing what later came out as a rumor that, no, it wasn't like a rumor. In fact, a court actually ruled that Nnamdi Kanu should be freed and let go in 2022. Guess how enraged some of you obedient were? Because to some of you, releasing Nnamdi Kanu when election was coming was an effort, so that Nnamdi Kanu will say that there should be no election in Eastern Nigeria, and therefore Peter Obi will lose. I saw all of that. And this is what I mean by the entire system has been so, polluted enough that Nnamdi Kanu is always like a factor. That sometimes you probably just have to pick a side, and most of the time it depends on what is in your favor or not. The injustice that they have meted at this guy, people with real human blood running in their veins will agree, right? That it's been so wrong. Well, it is Nigeria, a place where the injustice is the only thing that is so democratized in that place, so to say. Then the Igbo governors, the ones that you should probably call the bastards of Igbo land, the selfish criminals who are so afraid of their own shadow and their failure that when they made a deal with this guy, years back, before they send send their soldiers to go and kill him, it was Devil Umayi who read the who read a communique. And in that communique, if I can remember, I think I have a copy of it. Let me show you. Please don't block. You should come down.
Your Excellency, our very dear host, the Governor of Enugu State, Right Honorable Ubuani, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, representing the Governor of Anambra State, our brother Dr. Ken, the other two governors outside the country on emergencies, our very dear brother and the leader of IPOB, Prince Nnamdi Kanu, our father, one of our fathers in Igbo land, Professor Ben Mwabeze, SAN, our brother again, Evangelist Elliot Boko, and the press. This is a communique resulting from our meeting today with the leader of IPOB. So, communique of the Southeast Governors Forum issued today, 30th August 2017 in Enugu. The Southeast Governors, today, the 30th of August 2017, met with the leader of IPOB, Prince Nnamdi Kanu, together with Professor Ben Mwabeze, SAN, and Evangelist Elliot Boko. The meeting deliberated on a number of demands of IPOB and noted their concerns accordingly. However, the meeting agreed that these demands by IPOB should not be absolute. Rather, the Southeast governors shall immediately engage the leader of IPOB, Prince Nnamdi Kanu, and the entire leadership of IPOB to further meetings and dialogue with a view to quickening the resolutions of all issues amicably. And we also request from all concerns to give the Southeast governors the opportunity to
liars. Because just like 2 or 4 weeks after that, they sent the Nigerian army to kill him. And since then, Devulumayi, who bragged that they will create their own IPOB if Nnamdi Kanu will remain evasive and out of control for them, they will create their own IPOB that will now counter Nnamdi Kanu. That was why when Nnamdi Kanu created the ESN, he didn't create ESN to go after anyone other than they were like the forest rangers. Forest rangers who are meant to stay and be stationed in the forest of Igbo land and ward off the invading Fulani terrorists. Immediately, they attempted to kill Nnamdi Kanu and he escaped their assassination. Igbo land got invaded by these Fulani terrorists and the killing started in Enugu, in Ebonyi, in Anambra, in Abia, and Ebonyi, especially Ebonyi. In one of the videos where Devulumayi went on to go and commiserate with the people killed by the Fulani terrorists in one of the local government areas in Ebonyi, he publicly said they made a deal with these people that they are not going to attack our people again. And he was so sad, he was so disappointed that they had to come back and kill over 70 people in that community that year. So Nnamdi Kanu started the ESN. Again, the shit-scared governors and politicians, they unleashed their propaganda against him, and they launched theirs. Guess what? They launched their own. They called it Ebube Agu. Ebube Lizard. Now, Ebube Agu was to do what exactly? Yes, I'll tell you. They were not to go after the Fulani terrorists. They were to hunt down every IPOB they know. Every IPOB or ESN member that they can find. That was their mandate. So they became the militia for the governors, hunting down IPOB. And if you go and check all of their online footprints, right, there was not a single Fulani terrorist arrested in any part of Igbo land. By this, and guess who started the Ebube Agu? Devulumai. Because in the memo that Nnamdi Kanu shared with them in that Enugu, in that August 2021, meeting in Enugu, he gave them the idea of starting their own indigenous security outfits, whose job is not to participate in the conventional security outfits wherever they have in Nigeria, but be stationed in every communities who are like in the potential, who have the potential threats of the Fulani terrorists. They didn't touch any of those things. Nothing. Rather, they ran to Abuja to tell Bukwari to proscribe IPOB and call them a terrorist organization. Put together money, over $2 million, straight to Washington to go and see the lobbyists who can help them kind of push it in the Congress that IPOB is a terrorist organization so that they can have the license to kill everyone they accuse of being an IPOB. Do you know what an IPOB is? It is a community ground-up organization. It is not a social media organization. It is it's a community organization like your political parties, right? People meet. People were always like a meeting. People were known to be members of IPOB. Indigenous people, guess what they were discussing? They are always discussing their community matters, their problems, and the things that concerns every community. These are the things that they sit down to discuss. And of course, Biafra. I'll show you something.
Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi go onyedu IPOB. O Mary Wonendizu Mbiroya Abakare. Mamanda Mura, Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapoli Mary Nnamdi.
Do those people look like criminals to you? Were those not like everyday normal people? Right? They were just everyday normal people. But the propaganda out there is that Nnamdi Kanu misled our people to hate other people. Yeah, the self-hating Igbos. Nnamdi Kanu taught our people to hate other people. That's not the truth. That is what scared the shit out of them. That's exactly what they have been working day and night to destroy. How did he do it? They don't know. But those are the ordinary people. Ordinary, everyday ordinary people. Business guys, what do you call them? Working class people, farmers, traders, elderly, young people, middle-aged men and women who were there to discuss the issues concerning them. And at the same time, discuss what they would love to see in a Biafra. They were not warmongers. They were not they are not terrorists. So this is how you get to understand how it became easier for the Igbo governors, Igbo politicians, to organize their own militia, Ebubeagu, to hunt people down. Because these are like normal people. It is like some people coming together and say they are hunting down the APC members. You will see your papa, you will see your mama, you will see your uncle, aunties, who are members of PDP, APC, who goes to meetings to discuss political stuff, Abi. That's exactly what every community was like in the time of Nnamdi Kanu. There was not a single harassment anywhere. There was not a single report of criminal activities anywhere. And that's why till today, even when they claim to be arresting kidnappers in the eastern part of Nigeria, they have not been able to parade any single person to say this is a member of IPOB or this is a member of ESN. No. That was what they tried to take away from you. The facts of the matter, they don't want you to feel, to see. Because they needed something to justify the reasons why they are carrying out extrajudicial killings in the eastern part of Nigeria. And then put it on Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu caused it. Oh, he's the one. He's the one that is talking about Biafra. If he's not the one talking about Biafra now, there will be no python dance. There will be no military in our region. And this and that. Self-18 Igbos. But the man is unperturbed. He is unperturbed. He is so resolute in his conviction that he told them, even if you kill me, there will still be many Nnamdi Kanu that will emerge as long as this injustice continues. And he is right. Even if you kill him, there will be more. And guess what? There will be brutal Nnamdi Kanus that will emerge. There will be. So it became so difficult that it is like a poison chalice for them. And some of them who are like, when it is politically convenient, right? They are demanding for his release. So Nnamdi Kanu said, I've done nothing wrong. If Nigeria is a country that has rule of law, by now, Nnamdi Kanu won't be in any prison. Do you know that? Do you know that? That it is only in Nigeria that after an appeal court gave a judgment, the Attorney General of the country begged the court to stay execution in executing that judgment, only to go to Supreme Court, who indeed was supposed to actually say, oh, yes, no. But rather, they said no, yes, yes, no. Inconclusive. Only to send the case back to the same judge, Binta Nyako, the same compromised judge, who was given a script on exact thing, that they wanted her to do to this Nnamdi Kanu. No evidence, no trial, nothing for real, just a conviction. Sentence him to death. She couldn't. Unfortunately, she couldn't. Now they had to send it back to her. So last year, Nnamdi Kanu had to force her to recuse herself because she's compromised. So when it was too much for her, she recused herself and said, well, I don't want to be part of the case anymore. Guess what? The vested interest the president of the Court of Appeal in Nigeria insisted that no, she must continue with the case. In law, there is something called recusal. You can recuse yourself, especially if you have been found compromised, that you will never give any fair trial, fair judgments. You have to excuse yourself. Another judge should be assigned to the case. But no, the appeal court or so president insisted that no, she must continue. Go back, you must continue. And since then, it's been adjournment indefinito, which means we don't know when we're going to converge again. We don't know when we're going to convene again. Until yesterday. Before that